What's going on, everyone? I am DeFi Sean, and you're watching Infinaeon Friday. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, as I always say, subscribe button, repost button, or whatever button that you have to hit on whichever platform that you're on to go ahead and spread Infinaeon Friday as far as we can take it. Now, Joe is traveling today, but we are joined by the usual, becomes a mainstay now, Mr. Pixels. And our guy, Merc, is going to kind of go over a couple of things here with you in a little bit that we want to talk about. But yeah, before we hop into it, guys, how's everyone's week's been? Typical, very busy week for me. But yeah, just checking in with you guys, see how it's going.
Yeah, doing good, man. Doing good. Glad to be back here for another Friday, another week. Just whistled by there super quick. But that's always it's a good thing. It means you're staying busy. But yeah, it's been good, man. It's been good. Excited for more updates. We're getting closer, obviously, to more of our own products and stuff rolling out. So I'm pumped. How are you doing, Mark?
Doing really good, guys. I mean, it's a good time right now in the market. Everything is starting to ramp up, and I think a lot of the good vibes are not necessarily coming back because I think they've been there, but we've just been kind of like waiting around, for some more bullish confirmation from Bitcoin, and definitely this week I think we got some of that.
Yeah, so like before we even kind of hop into things, let's kind of talk about the market a little bit, especially since I got you here, Merc. Merc pays attention to the overall market way more than me. He's a big asset to the whole Infinion ecosystem just because he kind of pays attention. And obviously, we have Bitcoins at 117,000. A lot of people are talking, altcoins are starting to run or should be running. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Merc? Especially like with BTC, as you can see right here. I mean, it still has a dominance of 63%. So majority of the market is still in Bitcoin. Like, what are your thoughts on that and what's upcoming with it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the Bitcoin dominance just says that we are still in price discovery. Yeah, got three crazy boys in the background fighting right now, summertime. So yeah, I think we're still in price discovery, even though we're breaking, new all-time highs. Until the Bitcoin dominance kind of lowers, we won't see a real true rotation into alts. And then there's always the Murad thesis, right? If you guys are paying attention to people like Murad, back in 2024, last year in Singapore, he had a really nice keynote speech where he kind of gave what I think is something that has really played out in the fact that meme coins are really kind of taking the place of altcoins this season. And so people are rotating to quality communities, people that have spent the time to build up a nice tribe, kind of like Infinion, for example. You have a very strong community here, very tribe mentality. And when people are looking to rotate, they're no longer going to rotate to as aggressively to just every alt. They're going to look for alts, and they're going to look for teams that have been building community, stuff like that. So I definitely think that narrative is playing out. So as we see the Bitcoin dominance lower, then we should definitely see the strong community plays that really start to pick up steam.
Yep. 100% agree with that assessment. Also, important to notice, kind of like I said with the reposts and the likes, also on the tweet generator with Mr. P, I can take my screen off if you have it pulled up on yours. Infinion Friday has officially been added to that. So go ahead and get your tweet out about Infinion Friday. Take 10, 20 seconds while you're watching this. Tweet it out. And again, let's get this out as far as humanly possible. But yeah, Mr. P, if you want to take it over, go over that.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, Adam just messaged me there 5 minutes beforehand. I know this was a request last week to get this added, and Moon Monday will be coming in very soon as well. Where is it? I'm not seeing it here at the moment. Maybe I need a refresh. Infinion Friday, there it is. All right. Okay, so you can go to expos.infinion.com. Let's get it dropped into the chat there for everybody. If we can you drop it, or I drop it in here right now, actually, so everybody can do this right now as we're talking live. And I'll drop it in that. There it is on YouTube going in right now. So anybody can follow along with me here. Pop it up in another. Oh, what the hell? What?
MetaPCS.com ready to ship.
All right. Hey, if anybody wants a MetaPC, go to MetaPCs.com. They're not sponsoring the show yet, but I think maybe they might.
Yeah, we're going to have to get in touch with them for that plug.
Yeah, right. They owe us. Okay, I don't know why the hell that happened. That was weird. Okay, now here comes the real one. Okay, all right. There it is. expos.infinion.com. There it is. So how this works, super easy. If your account is already open, you're connected to the app, It's just a couple of clicks. You don't even have to think. It adds any hashtags, adds any ads to what we want. So you can go and you can select any of the topics over here. For today, we're going to go Infinaeon Friday. And then here, right here, you can select what kind of tone you want. You bullish, casual, serious. Let's go bullish. And then you can add a link. I'm not sure if that's in here at the moment, but let's just add, let's say, the website for right now. And then you just click generate post. And it'll pop it up right here. Super bullish just broke my brain. Cash the latest episode for all LunarPump fund developments, new features, and platform improvements. If you're on Friday, don't miss this episode. Head to the website. This obviously it's adding it in there now, but I think we need to let's get a YouTube link in there, Adam, for that, specifically for Infinion Friday. It brings us to the YouTube channel. But yeah, so that's an example of how that works. We are adding obviously Facebook and X. You can then just copy it if you want to make this post to another platform. And then you can just hit a reroll. Now we have an image down here that you can just add, click it, you can copy it, or else you can download it for future. Or else you don't have to use an image if you don't want, or just hit the re-roll right there and it'll roll you a new one. OMG, you guys, you can see this. Each episode features a live Q&A session where you can ask questions directly to the founders and dev team. Infinion Friday vibes incoming. Head to the website, blah, 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 because I added the link. And just to give you an idea of some of the other ones, we also have, let's say, LunarPump Fund, which is something that, we're going to touch on here shortly because we have our massive Zeely quest rolling out and stuff that Merck is going to touch on here, adding this utility to these already built out platforms to get those metrics up is going to be a massive thing. And the success we've seen with this through Zeely so far, not even 2 weeks in, utilizing this has been phenomenal. The metrics are pumping because of it. So let's say we'll go for, let's say, a casual post about LunarPump, and I can add in lunarpump.fund, the direct link to it, and I can go generate post again, just to give you an idea. And we got lots more images in here now because we're going to be pushing this hard. So we got some memes in there, whatever you want, you could click it. Again, your reroll, found something pretty interesting. So this is the casual response, or the casual post. Found something pretty interesting. LunarPump Fund tackles typical meme coin issues with strong sniper bot protections and community-driven launch features. Or checking out, do your own research, check it out, LunarPump.fund. Got some hashtags and stuff down there. Again, you reroll, select your image. And then once you go down here and you click X, it'll auto-populate. If you're doing it on mobile, it'll open up your app, auto-fill it. And then again, when you're in there, you can either just paste the image, or if you have it downloaded, you can upload it to that to edit, whichever you like. And then, of course, you can slightly tweak this if you want, or if you just want to go for the straight bull post, boom, 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 click, click, click. You don't even have to think, and it's done. So there it is. A nice, easy piece of kit. And again, it's been so beneficial for like the Zeely stuff. The metrics we've seen, the returns on that at this moment have been, like I said, phenomenal. So we're working with those guys and looking at this at potentially even being a full-blown Infinion product as we roll it out here because I think most people, once you see those metrics, I think they're going to want to be like, yeah, you'll get so much more of a return when you're using something like this. And again, it transcends like even language barriers too, right? Because if you have people that are participating and they might have broken English or whatever, and they don't understand the project exactly, or they're not delivering exactly how you like, they basically open up their account and give you access kind of to allow you to kind of post through them. So it makes sure that it's cohesive, it makes sense, and super easy to use. Go on, Mark. I know you're going to chime in there, brother, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm loving this. I have some questions and thoughts on my own. Do you have a way to change the language with the click of a button yet? If not,
not
I'm
yet,
sure.
but yeah,
okay,
cool. That will be coming for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice. There's a lot of communities out there that want to engage, and I see a lot of people this cycle more than last cycle because of AI, kind of broaden their content to different regions because it is easy to do it just by going to ChatGPT or even Google. But having it built into this platform is great. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with what Jupiter is doing with their content creating studio. They're essentially making their they call it a studio, but it's essentially like a pump fund style platform where you can launch a coin, blah blah blah. But it's like natively built into their platform, and they are talking about adding creator tools to help those people. And this is something that you guys are already doing ahead of the curve, which is amazing to see. Giving communities the ability to generate content like crazy. I mean, shameless show here, and I got to shout out the Captain B&B community on this. If you look at the timeline, the amount of content that they are flooding X with is insane. Now, we just happen to have a very gifted set of people in our community that create the AI stuff. But what I see here is Infinion has a gifted set of people as well. They can make a tool to give access to everybody to be able to generate content. And if Infinion, if we're generating content like crazy on the timeline, it's really going to do well for the algorithm. What I've noticed with Captain B&B specifically is people out there prompting and adding things to the timeline. Even Grok now picks it up, right? Because Grok is an AI. It's combing through all the data that's going through X. So the more you flood it with Infinion, Captain B&B, that type of content, you're like programming this AI to like solidify that brand in its code. So tools like this are super great. One other thing I was going to ask, so you got the language stuff coming up in the future, which would be massive. How about reply guy? Like, you say I want to reply to one of your posts, and I could just copy the link to the post, throw it in there, and boom, it starts generating me some options on how I can comment back on it.
Yeah, that is definitely something. I mean, Adam is the man behind building this out, but he just said, yes, I am working on additional language.
You better be, because I'm coming for him. I see Adam down there.
Yeah, nice. He just did it very simple. Yeah, super simple, guys. You don't have to think. You just click, and it's posted. But yeah, Adam, thoughts on that? I'm sure that is something that we're gonna look at doing for sure. But yeah, I like that idea, having it as an easy reply where you can just drop in the main post and it'll auto reply and do basically the same thing. I don't think that would be too difficult to add on here. But Adam, you can tell me otherwise, but I feel like the way this has gone so far, I don't think it'd be too crazy to get that in.
Yep. And we'll talk about here something shortly that Merc is going to talk about, that this will kind of get taken up potentially to even the next level. But before we do that, let me see if you can, let me drop you off the screen, Mr. P. I'm going to bring up mine. So we're still testing on LunarPump Fund. Just kind of got some generic tests just so we know the separate ones. As you can see, we got some like private ICO options going on here. We do have some back-end changes going on. We have an auditor that works with Phantom going ahead and taking care of some of those issues for us, because again, we have to have that Phantom verification. We can't have Phantom, one of the biggest wallets on Solana, saying malicious site and stuff like that when they connect to LunarPump Fund. So again, guys, of course, every single day, every single week, we're getting closer and closer, but we really are. LunarPump Fund is going to be right around the corner. We just have to make sure it's up to par and working correctly. Now, again, I saw in chat, people were kind of talking about marketing and different things like that. Now, myself as a YouTuber, I would love nothing more than for YouTuber to be the top dog. It's really not. So when people are like, hey, get this person to make a video, get that person to make a video, get this person to make a tweet. One thing you have to realize when it comes to KOLs, and it sounds insane, but it's true. Some of your bigger names on YouTube, I'm not going to name names, but some of your bigger ones, they'll charge 10, 20, 30. There's some of them charging $50,000 to $100,000 for one video, $20,000 for tweets, just different things like that. And paying these prices just because you want to see that KOL talk about your favorite project, you will never get a return on it. So with LunarPump Fund, we're going to be going different options. Of course, you're going to see us on YouTube. Two of the founders are YouTubers, but you're not going to see some of like your potentially huge names necessarily talking about it, at least in a paid format. But some of the things we're going to be doing is on X. We've been kind of hoarding our ad credits from that gold check mark that we have. Of course, we have the post generator going over for the community so that they can post nonstop about it. And then also we're going to be utilizing different things like cookie.fund, which is a big reason why I wanted to bring Merc here and talk about why these sites are so important and how they're, helping Bonk and, Pump Fund and all these different things explode. But yeah, Mark, if you want to kind of go over and talk about this. Now, we haven't officially secured a list. And let me say this before you start, Merc, but Growthy, our marketing partner, knows them, has a relationship with them, and we are working with them to go ahead and get a listing, because again, getting a listing is going to be a big deal, not only to be on the site, and then that's where the tweet generator comes in, because it's going to allow the KOLs that operate on the site to get into it with very little, brain power, I guess you can say. But Merc, if you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about these mindshare websites and why they're so important. So like LunarPump Fund coming up. Merc, you're muted, Merc. You're muted.
There we go. Ever since Elon Musk kind of opened up the code for X, I think we're also seeing other platforms do similar things where they're sharing how the algorithms are working. But just with having X completely open source so people can see, you're getting these InfoFi type platforms that are coming out because they're able to go in, look at the code, and then essentially create their own scrapers to scrape quality content versus just noise. And so it's helping cut through a lot of the noise, which is something that we didn't see last cycle. Last cycle, it was all smoke and mirrors, to be honest. You had a bunch of big accounts, 100,000 followers plus, and people were just attributing their weight based on how many followers they have. But realistically, how many of those followers are actually engaged in audience and what you would call a smart follower, someone that actually adds to the network effect instead of it's just a placeholder, right? And most of us are familiar with the network effect, which is, if I onboard Sean tells people in his network, he onboards them, etc. But if you're onboarding people on Twitter that are just bots or people that have no, they have no network, then the quality of that account is lower. So these SocialFi platforms and these InfoFi platforms actually, what they do is they take a deeper look at a person's account to see are the people that follow and engage with their messages, are they actually adding value? Do their audience also see the message? And is it kind of does it have a trickle down effect? And so they've done a really good job with a couple of them. You have Cookie.fun here, which sounds like we have a pretty interesting opportunity with them. Very big movers in the space. There's also Kaito and a couple of others. The whole mindshare thing is if our mindshare is high, that means we're on the lips of a lot of people and they're talking about it with their friends and their friends. So having high mindshare is definitely something we want to be working towards. Now, a lot of people will try to create campaigns that they think that's going to generate mindshare, and I've seen people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and not get anywhere near the mindshare that they want with that kind of money, just because they put the money in the wrong place or trusted the wrong KOLs to push the message. And I think with Cookie.fun, we should be able to put Infinion on the map in terms of mindshare. We have a bunch of amazing content. We have a really good organic community that's already naturally rating on their own. So amplifying it with a campaign with Cookie.fun should just give us a stronger opportunity to grow the mindshare across the ecosystem.
And this mainly focuses on X per se, right? Is that correct, Mark? Or?
Yeah. So this is going to be with the X algorithm. Right now, like even though there's some pretty good algorithms with the Instagram and stuff like that, they're not fully crypto friendly yet. I mean, you could do I see a lot of people put like branding on Instagram and stuff, but it's really not kind to the whole crypto space just yet. X, however, is pretty kind. There's some very big accounts that have grown nice size audiences, and basically the size of your audience really adds value to the impact on X, on how far you can get outside of these echo chambers and how far you can push messages. So.
And let's say, regardless, is it all? I mean, obviously, it looks like here, but is it all crypto centric, or do you have like a Web2 like platform, or let's say projects or accounts that like utilize this too, or is it all mostly crypto?
I think this is going to be mostly crypto. Yeah, there may be a couple of Web2 brands that are. Look, I saw one happen. I saw this happen the other day. I can't remember what brand it was. But they pushed this ticker really crazy, or they pushed this one word really crazy, and it just so happened to be the same word that another country uses on their post. So I'm talking about country, some country, I can't remember where they were, but they have the same word. And so when it started trending on X, it actually got tied to the country and not the crypto asset, right? So that might happen every now and then. You might see something with a high mind share. You're like, what is this? This is not a crypto thing. It's because the algorithm grabs it from X, and if it's trending heavy and it falls in line with something that's not in the crypto, it may show up on here as well.
And can it be like utilized in the same way, or like would you be at let's say can a if you're not necessarily a crypto centric project, can you utilize this platform too, or does it not really
I think
work?
if they want to, yeah. I mean, if they want to, and you want to get, it's all about your audience, right? So listen, if you're building a product or you're building something where you want it to resonate with the ideal avatar that is a person in crypto, then absolutely a Web2 company could try to set that up as well if that's their target audience. So everything comes down to like, who is your target audience, and then you build an ideal customer avatar for that, and then these types of campaigns help you get closer to that avatar in a very KPI driven way. So
Gotcha. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I mean, it looks great. It's a great way to measure that metric. And like you said, when those algorithms are constantly changing, it's good to have kind of an arbiter there that's able to like at least keep us, because it's so hard, man, to keep up with like if there is even the slightest tweak could like change so much in how your new approach should be, right? So just having that kind of there, and like it helps you, I guess, meet the community kind of where they're at, right?
yeah, not only that, but like Cookie.fun, Kaito, these guys, they do a really good job of gamifying the whole entire system. That way you're incentivized to create quality content and think creatively, right? Instead of just creating a bunch of like copy pasta stuff. Some of these content creators that I've seen, they do a very good job of trying to figure out what is going to give them the best reach, what's going to give them the most snaps in the case of Cookie.fun, or the most yaps in the case of Kaito. And so it just adds a little bit more creativity to the post versus a standard regular post. And this is exactly what Elon Musk wanted when he created X, right? The whole idea behind X is it's a town square, and people are coming to the town square to have conversations. So think about it from an IRL perspective. If you went into your local town square for an event and you just started screaming Infinion, 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 like just screaming it hysterically, people would look at you like, what is going on with that person, right? There's something wrong with that person.
Right.
Can we call the security and get them out? But if you come in and you have a well-planned message and it's coordinated across a good group of people, well, now you're buzzing and people are hearing like, oh, what's all the commotion going on over there? Let me see what's going on. And so that's how Elon Musk kind of created the platform, or is retuning the platform. It's to be more organic, act like a town square. And so these platforms are doing a very good job in incentivizing and rewarding people to participate in that type of system.
Right. So it's basically, instead of being the homeless guy in the corner screaming about the end of the world, you're like a coordinated group of people, It's like,
yeah, just a little bit more, a little bit more refined. You're having casual conversations. It all falls into that tribe mentality. You get a good group of people in the town square talking about one thing, and everyone else is going to know what they're talking about. They're going to want to fit in. They want to be socially accepted. So they'll head that way.
Awesome. Love it.
Yep. And after kind of looking at everything with with GetBonk and all these different sites, we're going to restructure the tokenomics probably a little bit about how we're going to work LunarPump. We'll probably have those details for you next week. It's going to be hugely beneficial to Infinion and to the project overall, with the vast, again, majority of fees, as always, going back into Infinion or the LunarPump Fund platform. But we are going to kind of restructure. We've just been learning a lot from, what is it, Merc? Is it Bonk's site? What is it?
Say it again.
What is Bonk's? There we go. Let's Bonk.
Oh, Let's
We've
Bonk.
been learning. Yeah. We've been studying a lot of different launch pads and different things like that. Obviously, they overtook Pump Fund with volume, so we're gonna kind of alter things a little bit. But let's just say Infinion will be a huge benefactor of what we have planned for LunarPump Fund for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, LunarPump Fund was already headed in that direction, and if we would have went live sooner, maybe we would have been some of the pioneers on it. But it's good to see how Let's Bonk Fund did it. We kind of get a good case study on what works, what doesn't work, allows us to make a better move with intention instead of trying to throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. But they definitely did a good job of putting the community first and trying as best as possible to find ways to incentivize creators, incentivize participants, etc. So there's a couple of good platforms out there that are doing that. Let's Bonk was one. And then I don't know if we want to share some of the other ones that we're looking at, but we are doing deep analysis.
I don't mind name dropping. Like I said,
Yeah,
we're
so
all
the other one is
inclusive.
Axiom. We're looking at Axiom as well. Axiom does a very good job of rewarding their users in real time with like this cashback system, which is a really nice way to add more gamification to it, add more frontline incentives for the community. So these are definitely things that we're exploring and looking at on ways to implement and improve upon.
Yeah,
How do
and
you
I think.
spell?
Oh,
How do you spell Axiom?
AXIOM.
IOM. Let's see if it's on here.
And I think one of
there it
the
is.
It's Axiom.exchange. That's not them.
That's not them.
No, they don't have a token or anything, so I don't know if they'll exchange. No. Yeah.
No.
Double check.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
We're
it's
just gonna pull them up.
Axiom.trade. I'm sorry. Axiom.trade. But I don't know if they're going to be on here or not. They're just a trading terminal.
Yeah, they may not be. Yeah, I was just gonna pull up. Yeah, no big deal.
But I think one of the big takeaways too, Mark, I'm sure you'll probably agree, is that it just showed that like the king can be unseated, right? That like when people see a better option, they're not like super hardcore loyalists to pump on. It's like, no, if I'm gonna have a better success over here, I got more incentives, like I'm happy to move, right? And
People are gonna, it's an open market, and we are entering a time, unlike last cycle, where the community really has the power. And so if you're not building with the community in mind and you're not improving, like, you can be unseated really quick in this space.
Yep, which is the route we're going. Obviously, we're 100% community driven.
Yeah, so
I'm excited
on
for
that
this.
note, Sean, do we have any updates on where we're at with? I know we're testing and all that. You kind of give a quick, but for anybody tuning in now, we got like nearly 120 live listeners right now. Shout out to everybody. We're across Twitch, multiple platforms on X, multiple accounts across YouTube. So shout out to all you guys. Thanks for tuning in. But any updates on that? Obviously, that's the main big thing they're waiting for. It's the catalyst that's really going to kick off this massive marketing campaign here. And, having this little downtime too, I think is good. And having Merck coming in here and kind of doing this deep analysis and things that work and being able to make these tweaks. Like, you got to remember that Let's Bonk dropped during this downtime. So as that being a case study, it's a great way for us to see and then obviously tweak and optimize based on that new information that's coming in. But what are your thoughts, Sean, for anybody that's tuning in? Where are we at with that? I know you touched on it earlier on in the show, but we usually have a lot of late stragglers coming in. So if you want to maybe touch on that again real quick for some people.
Yeah, so the back end that the auditor is going ahead and taking care of us for, they're about 8 to 10 days, they said, to get that done. That was starting Wednesday. I've already had multiple conversations with them, confirming a couple of things, just getting everything set up. Everything else is kind of going on parallel to it. So, we're hoping once they get that done and then we can get it on the mainnet, we can officially get that phantom verification. And then, we'll be ready to go. And at that point, like I said, we'll be deploying our strategies. Hopefully, we're going to be getting that cookie.fun listing. We are, again, going to be very heavy on X, both with paid promotions and, of course, with the community. Like we talked about the whole beginning of the episode, these tweet generators are next level. I mean, when I get on my X, that is literally all I see. Obviously, it knows that because I tweet about it, I look at it, Infinaeon, but I mean, that's literally all I see. I have to scroll like tons of messages before I even see about something else. So again, it's just a huge asset having that tweet generator. And again, see small things that people don't realize, from the tweet generator to the profile picture generator. These little things are more valuable than almost any form of marketing that we can pay for, because those marketings, it just doesn't get you that return on your investment at all. That's why, again, working in the background with Crypto on Calls, that's why so many of these projects go broke so quick, because they will pay $40,000 for that YouTube video or something like that, and they never get a return on it. It doesn't matter with their taxes or anything. They don't get that return. And then the next thing you know, they're dried up, and then same old story. They're done for and on to the next. So, it's just something that we refuse to do as far as as far as budgeting goes and stuff like that, we're going after what works is going to be how we deploy everything.
Yeah, and it's all about like empowering the community, right? And that's what those utilities do, right? It's not, you don't have to tell them. It's like you give them the tools, teach a man to fish, right? That's the way to do it. So like adding those little extra utilities across the board to make this a lot easier for people to do. It's all about it. And the same with LunarPump. Like when Solana gets added here to LunarPump in this next version, it's all those incentives, right? It's the, you know, the cha-ching function, it's the staking that's going to be coming, it's going to be the adjustable bonding curves, the ICO feature, all these things. And how it's going to work is basically you will go to lunarpump.fun and you'll be automatically plugged into the Solana side, and then you'll have your options up top to select any of those current EVM chains, be it Infinion, be it Base, or be it BNB. You know, you'll have all those options there, but the main home landing page will be Solana. Obviously, that's the king of memes. But all of these incentives are there to, you know, get that metric right. And, you know, if you can crack, like if you have a good success rate due to the incentives that you offer, like it's going to be so much better. Like, you know, the guys were saying that, you know, when you have the adjustable curves, it allows you to kind of control your launch, get out the gates, and, you know, not take a complete like dump as soon as you do get out there. And you just got a lot more control, a lot more community empowerment for that. So, you know, all of those incentives, I think it's massive to add them. And, you know, like I said, this being the catalyst for the real big push here, I'm really pumped for it. So yeah, Solana coming to LunarPump here very soon. Coming soon. Can't wait.
Wow.
There we go.
That was epic. I'm not
I love this. I love this post right here, Mr. P. It's so true. Teach a man to fish. Mr. Pixel knows about that. Exactly.
That is true. That's my mother-in-law right there. She knows I was I was raised in a little fisher village back in Ireland, in case anybody doesn't know, way down in the south of Ireland. So yeah, I know a little bit about fishing for sure.
How does the saying go? Give a man a fish he eats for a day. Teach him how to fish he eats for like the rest. How does the saying go? It's something right along those lines.
Eats for a lifetime. Reads.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. Thanks, Mammy Snow. Appreciate that.
That was a good video. When is that coming out on the timeline?
Thank you. Oh, that's sitting at the top of LunarPump right now.
Oh, we need to blow that up.
Yeah, bro. Get it out.
Yep. And especially when LunarPump comes, that's when we really need to start seeing LunarPump. I kind of like seeing more of Infinion right now because, you know, we haven't gotten to the point where we're pushing Infinion or LunarPump. But yeah, I cannot wait for that to go live. And we just go crazy with those tweets, all of us. Yep.
Yeah, can't wait. And as well, like Sean was saying earlier, you know, with the Infinion account, we got a lot of credits built up for this campaign. So there's going to be tailoring a lot of ads specifically, kind of catchy ads like that. Going to do plenty of research, make sure we're getting our our top bang for our buck in there, but we got a lot of like juicy content that we're going to have we're going to be using to like spread out across and advertise across X for LunarPump and you know, bringing people in that way.
Yep. And we're going to be coming to the end of the show here soon. So any questions? I know people haven't had too many questions, more so just comments. You know, we're here every week, multiple times a week. So all questions get answered. But if you do have any questions, go ahead and drop those questions and we can get them answered before the end of the show for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just going to touch on something again, real quick here. Do my stand. Did you have something you want to touch on there first, Sean, or were you?
No. Yep. Go ahead. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Let me just pop you down there, and I'm going to add this in here as well, real quick. So this is also, you know, it's another little utility that we have that coincides with the post genie, I like to call it. But this is basically another 20 seconds. It takes absolutely no time. This is pfp.infinion.com. I'll drop that in there too. But you're basically going in here, you're dragging and dropping your PFP in there. You select which one of these you want. We got a couple of different ones. If you're on your phone, you can just pinch this over here and resize it, whatever you want, or else you got your zoom slider right here, so you can select it whatever way you like. Pop it in there and then continue to download. That's it. Got LunarPump there, which is like a little Moon Boy helmet. That's the another Moon Boy helmet. That's a Baby Draco one. So there's a couple of different options in there, but this is the main one that we use across, that you'll see most people that they rock it up in the spaces. So yeah, go to that as well. That's another like super easy tool that people can use. Your PFP is your digital banner, especially on X. Same way you would rock a t-shirt in real life. That's like another in real life banner. PFP is just as important in the digital landscape. So getting over there within 20 seconds, you'll have this done. And you know, if you're holding a bag of something, having this is kind of a no-brainer. You want people to see. You want, like, this is the easiest way you'll ever promote what you got, right? You don't have to do anything. It just sits there, right? And you know, as long as you can make it look good, you know, happy days. And talking about everything looking good, we could not go any further without plugging the Infinion merch store. Constantly adding stuff down here. We got this lovely, beautiful, I got to get one of these Moon Boy shirts. But we're just adding some new stuff over time as well. I'm going to bring some more. I've been adding some phone cases too, some LunarPump stuff. Just added this 100 light year stare, I called it. So it's like Moon Boy in that famous meme post, but it's a big poster. We've got some hats in here. Obviously, we got a couple of different collections down here. We got the Infinion main, LunarPump, Moon Boy, Baby Draco. So we're kind of adding to these over time. And this is the Infinion one. We got some bits and stuff in there. I know when we were down in Vegas, we brought some of this stuff. We got stickers and all that. So the more we're kind of going to be ramping this up, the more promotion we do and send people over. They're nice kit. There's some nice designs in here. And of course, you got LunarPump. If you want to go rock that out, again, we'll be adding more. There's some good standard ones in there, some stickers for the kids. We got then Moon Boy is the kind of more crude side of things, so I'm adding that. Make Degens great. That is one I definitely want to get.
My personal favorite, say win again.
Oh yeah, say win again, motherfucker. Yeah, I like that one. So yeah, some good funny ones in there. Like I said, we'll keep adding some more over time. But yeah, if you're looking for the crude straight out of Uranus, that's another one. Another classic Moon Boy shirt there. Just like what was it, straight out of Compton, right? It was straight out of Compton was the original of that, so it's straight out of Uranus. And the poster, this is like, get your minds out of the gutter. But yeah, so go in there, check them out again. And then we got like Baby Draco, which is our other one, and it's more of a kind of a cool little kid-friendly brand. I know, like, my kid like loves Baby Draco and Moon Boy. Any of the videos I show them, they're like, oh, awesome. So they get like want to keep watching them. So I got some of the stickers, and they love the stickers and stuff. So you know, we're going to keep building these up. But again, you get there.
That desk mat. Can you blow that one up?
Which one?
The desk mat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
there
sick.
It is. Yeah, that's like the GTA style Moon Boy and Baby Draco.
I like that.
So he's not holding a
Rottweiler right now, but I might have to upgrade it.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I want to get one of these too, dude. They're the big long ones too, but yeah, it's taken from the dude holding the Rottweiler in GTA, but we just swapped it out.
That's very good. I like it.
Yeah, right. But yeah, and again, you know, this all supports the project. So if anybody's got the balls to go and wear a red Make Something Great Again hat, let's make Degens great. So yeah, loads of stuff out there. Again, always supporting the project. Anything you do in here goes back into the ecosystem as well and helps this project move forward. And of course, it's your in real life billboard. So, go check it out. And yeah, I think that's all kind of the plug-in I got to do. Again, if you haven't made your Infinion Friday, we just added it to the tweet generator. Off you do, go in there, make a bullish, casual, serious post, add your link. We'll add in the YouTube link in there, Adam. I'm sure you're aware of that. And just generate. Easy peasy. Select an image. We got one in there now. We'll add some more over time, but that's the main show for it. So yeah, easy peasy, guys. Get in there, start spreading the word. Yeah, that's what I got.
All right. And yeah, before we close it down, we do have some questions, which I'll send this one over to you, Mr. P, because we were just talking about it. I think you guys should use the PFP generators and post generators as we gain adoption as another utility people can pay for their project.
Yeah, well, that is quite an interesting thing because we've been talking about this, and we are looking at obviously rolling this out as an Infinion product here, and being able to, and obviously we've made so many connections now with all the marketing and stuff we're doing, and the metric increase when between using this and not using this is pretty substantial. So it is definitely worth us utilizing this, and like I said, powered by Infinion. Hey, that's a great brand that adds that credibility to it as well. And again, it just adds another product for us. It adds another way for us to come in and buy and burn the Infinion token, or whatever the way that we're going to decide that to work. It's all going to come back in and feed the ecosystem. So yeah, that is something that is definitely in the works right now, and we are working on it. So bullish, pretty bullish. Plug and play system type deal. Yep, exactly. It'll be across. There'll be different options basically for you to be able to utilize these. We'll have a more enterprise kind of commercial option for big marketing agencies, maybe something like that, and then a more like personalized version for like just individuals, right? So that's what we're kind of we're structuring it out now. We have it pretty much done. So yeah, that's all working. It's ongoing behind the scenes here, and like I said, it's rolling out pretty quickly, so expect to see that pretty soon in the coming weeks, I would say.
Yep. And any soft dates for LunarPump? We're not ready to give a soft date quite yet. We typically don't like to give dates, but the front end's done. The back end, like I said, we're probably about 5 to 7 days out from some of the things being, I guess you could say, not fixed, but altered for Phantom and different things like that. So once we get the back end done, obviously the front end is already done, we can probably start talking soft dates. But again, here very, very shortly it'll be. We have some questions about Moonboy. So of course, Infinion LunarPump, that's our main focuses, but we will never forget about Moonboy. We were hoping he would kind of take off on his own and kind of be like a mainstay, like community type takeover. But yeah, we are going to, at some point sooner than later, switch our attention back to Moonboy one way or another. He's it's something that we are interested in doing. We all have huge bags of it. So yeah, it's definitely something we plan on pushing.
Yeah, dude, and I love Moonboy, dude. I love that character that he is. I think there's so much room for him to be like so many different things. I think it's a good brand. I think it looks well. So like I'm constantly like, on a personal level, I'm working on building that out. There's other stuff I'm working on too that can even, transcend beyond like over back into like, what do you call it? Web 2 spaces even. Like there's products you can do with an intellectual property like this that and I'm really trying to push the merch. I want to make some really good merch for him. And I did talk to Sean about maybe even potentially adding an LP to like on Solana for Moonboy as well, which I think might be a good idea. Drop anything you think about that in the comments. But I'm going to continue, and we post every day from Moonboy, pretty much every day, new memes, whatever. We're just keeping it rolling, So once we are able to like kind of everything else is in a good position, and we can kind of traverse back kind of and shine a little bit more of a spotlight on Moonboy, like we will be doing that. But don't worry, Moonboy ain't going to be dying anytime soon. I love this character, and I really want to push him,
Yeah, I mean, one thing too that'll help is the community has to kind of, you come up and build something for it. Any meme coin or any culture coin out there, cult coin, they have a very good community that's getting involved. And the less you're waiting around for someone to do something, the better. Kind of build up this bag worker mentality. But I like what you're thinking, Mr. Pixel, like creating these flywheels, into buying and burning the token would be a good idea. Kind of give it a nice deflationary aspect. That's the best thing. Buying and burning is always the best thing to do for that bag worker mentality, because as you're holding your bag, if the asset's being burned, then obviously the value appreciates up as more and more people come in and hold it, and more and more is being burnt. So it seems to work on most of these. You study top meme coins. The number one thing they start to do, they don't create utility. They just create flywheel things to buy and burn the token, and keep the focus on the fact that it is a meme. It is a token for the community, and it's got to have community involvement in order for it to really push forward and have strong legs.
Yeah, and I think about like transitioning as well over and adding a SOL aspect, I think will be a massive benefit for it, and it allows us then to kind of tie it in a little more with LunarPump as well itself per se. So yeah, I think that's a good idea moving forward once we get the time, and that's an issue. But hey, Moon Boy ain't going nowhere, bro. That is a guarantee. Nope. I promise you that.
All right, let's see what else we have, so we can go ahead and wind it down. Yep.
Sorry, Sean, I hit you there.
Yep.
There you go.
Black Sheep saying right here about Reddit. If you're not on Reddit, go ahead and hop on over. It sounds like we are growing over there. Joe will be back Monday. He's traveling again, but he said he should be back by Monday. So expect to see everyone's favorite Squid Grow Joe back Monday. I think Moon Boy has big meme potential, which of course. And yeah, guys, I think that's going to lead us to kind of go ahead and wind down the show. Got all the questions answered. Merc, Mr. Pixels, any final words before we go ahead and send it out?
No, just the only thing I would say is, hopefully no one gets shaked out of their position. I think we're just entering the actual banana zone. And with the amount of institutions that are bidding in the crypto space right now, we may not have a traditional 4-year cycle and see like a massive sell-off. It might just be like study gold from 2004 until now, and just look at the rip that gold has been on since 2004. It's a different beast, and we're kind of entering into that era. Not financial advice, of course, but just keep an eye on everything, and keep your finger on the pulse as much as possible.
Some good solid advice there, Merc. Agreed, brother. Agreed. You got to keep yes, you got to be in the trenches working hard, but you also got to pop your head up out of the trenches from time to time, keep your finger on the pulse, and assess the landscape around you and be able to, be fluid and be able to move with the trends, move with the algos, right? So it's very important that you do that. Keep your eye on tech, upskill as much as you can. I agree. Like the way the tech is moving right now, the more you can keep your finger on the pulse, the better chance you have of success in many, many aspects. And as far as us, Infinion, like LunarPump, hey, everybody just keep trucking, man. Just keep, we're going to keep showing up. We're going to keep being as transparent as possible. We're going to keep building, adding utility. We just need the community to keep growing, keep building. And as you can see, the Reddit, we got people on Reddit. We got our own Facebook group propping up out there as well. No, they're all like not necessarily even ran by us, but they're community ran. So like the more and more we keep doing that, get the memes out there. If you go into the Telegram right now, you can see that there is like, hey, a daily thing. It's like, go to CoinMarketCap, hit the rocket. There's just a little checklist that you can do every day if you really want to help your bag. So multiple things you can do. Let's just keep going. Let's keep growing and, keep spreading the word out there. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody to be able to do that. And let's moon this thing.
Yep. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of Infinion Friday. We will be back. Squid Grow Joe and the whole Infinion crew will be back for Moon Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern. But until then, we got Mr. P. We got Merc. Until we talk again, trade safe.